We're back. Time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. Jones Angell and Adam Lucas here with you. It's just that time of year. There is so much going on around Carolina athletics. We're looking forward to recapping what was a successful and busy weekend for the Heels. All brought to you by our friends at Wells Fargo. Adam, we have a time limit, so we need to get started.
My Lenovo tablet says it's ticking.
It is Lenovo. Look at that. Tar Heels over in Durham, Adam, and hold on to the victory bell for the fourth consecutive year. 38-35, the final score. Wild game, back and forth, tons of ebbs and flows, and ends up with Carolina scoring a touchdown. Drake made to Antoine Green with 16 seconds left, then eventually getting a tip pass from pod guest on the audio pod last week, Noah Taylor. Tipped the pass. Will Hardy, the freshman, intercepts it. That sealed it for Carolina, and 38-35 the final, and it was not over till it was over.
This is just how the Tar Heels play this year. And if it's testing your nerves, think about last year when the Tar Heels played very similarly but ended up on the wrong side of a lot of these close games. This year, Carolina playing really well in these close games, 4-0 in those games, 4-0 on the road, which had been a challenge coming into this year. They're just making big plays at the end of games. The defense is doing just enough. They're stopping the opposing offense just enough to get the win. And then anytime you've got Drake May and you're within a score at the end of the game, I think you feel like you got a chance.
May with a career-high 380 yards passing, 3 more touchdowns. That now takes him up to 24 passing touchdowns, 27 total touchdowns on the season. The 27 total leads the nation. The 24 passing is tied for the lead in the country. He's top 5 in passing yards nationally as well. And more ACC honors for Drake May, named the quarterback and rookie of the week in the ACC. He has won that now 5 times, being named the Rookie of the Week. You also see DeAndre Boykins, Tar Heel nickelback, won the Defensive Back of the Week in the conference. Second straight week that DeAndre has earned that, and good game for him, Adam. 7 tackles, had 1.5 tackles for loss, sacked the quarterback, had a good game.
And I thought a good sign for him that he had a little adversity earlier in the game, drew a penalty that maybe he wished he hadn't got, but was able to come back and turn in a great performance, good enough to earn ACC honors. Hadn't quite named that award after him. They need to just go ahead and name Rookie of the Week after Drake May. He's won it 5 of the 7 weeks. One of those weeks, Tar Heels didn't play.
And the other week, it was Amarian Hampton. So the Tar Heels have done a good job, certainly with some of those young, skilled players on the offensive side. Tar Heels now on an open date, ranked in the AP Top 25 for the first time this year at number 22, also 22 in the coaches poll. Their next action is next weekend at home against a very tough Pitt team. That game time has been announced, 8 p.m. in Kenan Stadium, television-wise, ACC network. All right, let's talk a little basketball. We were just mentioning the polls. Tar Heels number 22 on the football side of things. Number 1 on the basketball side of things. It is the 10th time that Carolina has been the preseason number 1 team in the country. That's the most all time. And Adam, this was really cool, the way that the Tar Heels kind of celebrated being AP preseason number 1 online.
They celebrated with this digitally created graphic that is not an actual Sports Illustrated magazine that you can buy, just to be clear. But it's a throwback to this one, which I think everybody remembers. And Jones, of course, the 5th starter, not pictured there. Michael Jordan, because Coach Smith didn't think that a freshman should be on the cover since he hadn't actually done anything to earn it yet. So the Tar Heels rolled with 4 that year, and then this year, everybody except for most likely Pete Nance.
Carolina number 1 in that preseason poll for the first time since the 2015-16 season. And they're not the only basketball team that's highly ranked in the preseason. Carolina's women's team, number 12 in the preseason poll. That is the highest preseason ranking for Carolina since the 2014 season. So high expectations both for the men and the women this season, with the year just weeks away. And for Carolina, the men, it's just days away. Their exhibition is next Friday, October 28th at 7:30 against Johnson C. Smith. By the way, we will have coverage of that game radio-wise on the Tar Heels Sports Network. That's a full broadcast for us, so we'll be on the air at 6:30 for that one. In fact, I guess that's our next broadcast since Carolina doesn't play football this weekend, so looking forward to that. The women, their season opener is going to be November the 9th. That is against Jackson State at 7 p.m. So we are right on the edge of Carolina basketball coming your way very, very soon. All right, let's look at some Olympic sports. Adam, we start with field hockey. Number 1 in the nation, now 12-0, 4-0 in conference play, faced a ranked and quality Syracuse team, but this was a pretty one-sided affair.
This is one of the best games Carolina's played all year. The Tar Heels beat Syracuse 6-1. Carolina's now beaten 6 of the top 12 teams nationally, and one of the teams they haven't beaten is themselves because they're ranked number 1 in the country. Erin Matson becomes the ACC's all-time leading scorer. She had a goal and an assist. She's also moving up the rankings in the NCAA. She's 3rd in NCAA history in points, 5th in goals, and she's being followed by a freshman who's shown a lot of promise. Riley Heck has her first career hat trick against the Orange. Tar Heels, their final 2 regular season home games this weekend. They're at home against Virginia on Friday, then senior day against a good St. Joe's team on Sunday. And then after that, it's all either on the road or postseason.
Women's soccer also ranked near the top. They are number 2 in the country, and they took care of Wake Forest this past weekend. 1-0 was the final there. Tori Hansen, the only goal for the Tar Heels on a penalty kick. Carolina now 12-3 overall, 5-2 in ACC play. And Adam, not only number 2 ranked, but the NCAA, like they do, and you may have seen this in basketball, where they come out with their early bracket, and Carolina was the number 2 overall seed.
Yeah, behind only UCLA, which won a hotly contested game in Chapel Hill earlier this year. Carolina with a chance to really move up in the ACC this week, as they've got big match on Thursday against Florida State, which currently leads the league, but is behind the Tar Heels nationally. Figure that out. The ACC is tough. So the Tar Heels going down to Tallahassee. That match is Thursday at 8 o'clock on the ACC network.
Women's tennis continues to be successful. Adam, there's all these ITA different events already. The Tar Heels have won some, they're in some more, and saw some success.
If it's an ITA of any kind, Carolina probably won it. And this weekend it was an ITA regional, and it was the doubles team of Fiona Crawley and Carson Tanguilig. They win that one. You'll remember that Fiona won the ITA singles the previous week. That was a national event. This is a regional event. This victory qualifies this duo to play in the ITA Fall Nationals in San Diego, where they're going to keep it classy, Jones. They'll play as doubles, and they'll join Annika Yarlagata playing singles. So Tar Heels with all kinds of entries in that big event coming up next month.
To win that doubles title, the Tar Heel team beat a team from Duke and a team from NC State to take home that title, so congratulations to them. Let's move over to men's soccer. Their only matchup here in the last couple of days was over in Raleigh against NC State. Ended up being a tie, 2-2 draw with the Pack. The guys actually play tonight. They're at Elon, and then back in conference play on the road against Boston College on Friday. And by the way, our interview this week, we're going to men's soccer. Tim Shells is going to join us. He's the captain of the men's soccer team. Tim's going to join us tomorrow here on the Video Pod, so I hope you can join us for that. The guys now 6-3-3 and 2-2-2 in ACC play as they're nearing the end of their regular season as well. And before we get out of here, a couple of lacrosse notes. Adam, what a huge congratulations to Jenny Levy, inducted into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame. And of course, why not? She belongs there. 3 national titles, 13 trips to the championship weekend, including 10 times in the last 13 years. What an honor and well-deserved honor for Coach Levy.
Definitely, and as part of this weekend, Carolina faced the U.S. women's national team in an exhibition game, which is basically a blue-white scrimmage because 9 of the players on Team USA are Tar Heels. And so an assistant coach, Marie McCool for Carolina, is actually on the national team. So she's playing against players that she's coaching. Figure that one out. She had 2 goals. Caitlin Wurzberger had a hat trick for the Tar Heels team. That's the blue squad. As just a fun part of a big weekend for Carolina lacrosse that also included an honor for men's lacrosse. As an alum, Steve Stenerson, also inducted, 2-time NCAA champ. Carolina's been good in lacrosse for decades now.
Yeah, congratulations to both of those folks for their induction into the Hall of Fame. I think we're going to put this episode of the Carolina Insider in the Hall of Fame. We got so much good stuff in there for you. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you later in the week here on the Carolina Insider.